Traders, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be covering AMC in today's video. I'm going to give you a little bit of a recap. We've seen a lot of momentum shifting back into some of the small caps, and AMC is kind of separating itself from GameStop, which did lead this run in my opinion. We saw GameStop start to take off, and that was an indicator to get into some AMC. We traded one option, but I haven't been back in it to end the week. However, I want to give you a little synopsis on where I do see this thing going, how I see stocks moving, and small caps in particular. But let's get into AMC, get into the content, what you came here for. Like, subscribe, do what you got to do. Let's get to it.
Lately, I've been feeling brainwashed, like my sword rubbing against the grain, lost in the...
All right, so before I jump into the chart, I do want to cover a few things. What I'm going to do is go over AMC and then IWM. Now, I'm going to show how these connect in my opinion, why this could have been an indicator of some of the stuff that has been happening. I do think things are playing out exactly to trend. What we do suspect, in my opinion, is going to be the major move for AMC to happen, at least the earliest, in my opinion, the middle to end of November going into the beginning of the year. That's when I think most of the momentum should kick in for AMC based on some of the options flow and then showing what's going on with IWM right now. Also, what is very important is looking at last year. This is when we saw the small caps start to heat up as well going into the end of the year. History does tend to repeat itself. Call me crazy, but I am kind of a Faru. But let's get to it. All right, so markets have not closed yet. I got to make this video a little bit early. I know. I apologize in advance. So what we got going on with AMC, let's talk about it, right? You had a key break above that 39.5. In my opinion, that was the really big resistance you had to get above. I mean, you broke clean through it, came down, almost had a retest, 39.6, shot back up. This is really bullish in my opinion. If you're ever trying to buy into a stock or look when I should be getting in or anything like that, especially when it comes to options, you always expect to get that break. But when you get that break, you always want to try to buy the retest. And you had a retest, not quite the touch, about 10 cents away, but you still got a pretty good indication of what's going on. Now, you're seeing you get some slowdown near the end of the day right now. That isn't necessarily bearish or anything like that. The only thing that would push me to more of a bearish, or I think you're going to get a little bit of more downside before mid-November, is going to be is if you flip this support and move like this. So that's not exactly how it will play out if it does happen, but I just want to give you an indication. You'll see candles forming down, testing, breaking down, and then a retest. And once you get this retest here, breaking back down indicates that the trend has changed in my opinion. However, obviously we're not getting that right now. So the trend right now, in my opinion, has more upside in the short term. That's just what I see on the chart. Now, looking at what's going on here, in my opinion, we've been saying this since, August, right? Since we had those last earnings in August, the bottom was in. In my opinion, on the pullback, the bottom was in, and it is in right now. And if you're looking at what's going on, I think you got your one corrective wave up, came back down, and now you're pushing back to get another leg back to the upside. This leg, in my opinion, before you started seeing any pullback, should get a push to about 57. Now, again, I'm not saying that happens tomorrow or the next day or anything like that. That's just where I would see it going. Honestly, it should test those local highs. Just my opinion going. If it has a short test of 57, got pushed back down, that wouldn't really be that good. But I do see this taking longer to play out. And look, if you see this, I mean, the last leg was about a month and a half long. If you start to see a month and a half time period, you're getting into the end of November. Now, this is just what I see happening. But what I want to do is take a quick look at IWM. And this is the Russell 2000, basically indicates a small cap. So what I'm going to do is take you to the 4-hour chart and just show you something I posted on Twitter earlier. Now, this is a trend that you've been trading in literally since February. You've been trading in this trend. And if you really look, this happened around the same time all the AMC and GameStop stuff started popping off. IWM just absolutely went crazy. Now, you've been sitting in this trend from 229 all the way down to 210, bouncing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But as of lately, what you've been seeing is higher lows across the board, pushing back to the upside. Something you really haven't been seeing, and this has really been almost 3 months time period, maybe 2.5. So what you're seeing is just a higher low, higher low, higher low, pushing up. Most of it comes down. If it does get a pullback or some type of crazy retrace, it would be another higher low, something around that, popping back up. That's just giving you an example. We do not have to see any type of pullback like that, just so you know. But just if you're looking at IWM, that's what you want to see, is just another higher low forming, just for that trend continuing. It's very possible that you get a push above and start pushing back up over the next few days as well. anything can happen. But I'm just saying, don't be surprised if you see some sort of pullback. It would still be in line with this breakout. So what you've been seeing is higher lows. But if you go back, you've been seeing you come up, come down, you're just whipsawing back and forth all year long. But now you're finally seeing that kick in. And if we go back to last year, let's go back to last year. What happened? Oh, look, higher lows basically for half of the year. But then once you get to September, even August or July, your higher lows all forming, then breaking out at the mid to end November, end of the year. This is just what I'm looking for. And if you look, in my opinion, this looks 100% more bullish than this. Look at all the pent up demand that you have there. The last time you had this was about right here. And once you had that break, look, you instantly, you almost doubled from that break right there. So that's absolutely incredible. Going back to AMC. Now, I'm not giving you an exact target or timeline. In my opinion, I'm going to keep saying it. I've been saying it for literally 3-4 months. The time to get that breakout for a next level push is not October and September. Yes, you're having upside, awesome. But if you're looking for the key breakout, or you're trying to get some options on those, end of November, mid-November at the absolute earliest is when I think that Q starts to come back around. December could get crazy. The beginning of January is honestly going to be kind of like the Super Bowl when it comes to AMC, in my opinion. It looks incredible. And also, one thing I do want people to be looking at is going to the 1 hour, is you're seeing a lot of resistance right there at the 200 MA. That's just a key level right now to flip back to the bullish side. Look what happened last time. You pushed above, came down, and then when you got back above it, you went berserk. So be looking out for that as well. You want to see a claim above that basically on the 4-hour chart, though. So you just want to make sure you claim above that for at least 2 to 4 hours. And in my opinion, that's extremely, extremely bullish. Right now, you're flagging. Continuation looks highly likely. But again, I'm not expecting fireworks just yet. But it does look like the trend is getting extremely, extremely bullish. I've been saying since August, the bottom is in, boys. And believe me, you're getting close to seeing those fireworks take off again. I'm getting excited for AMC and for everyone that's inside of this thing. More updates coming, but let's do a really quick rundown. All right, so going over AMC, yes, this is definitely one of my more bullish videos. I've been telling people as we get closer to the end of the year, my bullish thesis goes up and up and up, and people are just going to be happier to watch the videos because, in my opinion, this is when you're going to start seeing the breakout. Mid to end November, running into the beginning of the next year. That's, in my opinion, when you see the most momentum kicking in. I do love what I'm seeing. AMC looks absolutely bullish. IWM indicates, in my opinion, that a breakout is coming as well on all small caps as a whole. This could be another great run into the end of the year. Inflation, debt ceiling, those are going to be things you need to watch out for. But ultimately, right now, things are lining up for a very bullish holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you may celebrate. Boys, you know one thing you got to do before we get out of here. You got to like, you got to subscribe. Those are a combo. And remember, we run the market.
Ain't but to wear diamond chains,